guys. Hello. This is their Lumination on the road. Yes. It's good to see you all. Huh. So how's everybody doing? It was a very interesting evening we had last night. We posted a video about it. It was for all the pyromaniacs. We did a video for all the pyromaniacs. It went very well. It was explosive. It was, let's say, we were very close to heaven. Okay. Uh-oh, Emma, I see that. I see that on the screen. Oh, ow. That's a tricky one, right? That's a tricky one, Emma. So we'll get to that. Thank you very much. Okay. Casino? Casinos? No. Yeah. So this is kind of an emergency reading for Emma. Hold on here. I'm just going to pull this straight out of the box. Stay there, people. Oh boy, this sounds really painful. It sounds really, really painful, Emma. I'm sorry. I have to tell you, Emma, there is something happening in the planets right now, which is kind of it's going to affect everybody differently. But Saturn is kind of doing this really tough thing right now. It was going this way, then it was going this way, and now it's going back this way to normal again. And it's kind of like the message that I feel is that anything that can go wrong will go wrong at that moment. And so we have this build up to it, and then we go into it, and then we come out the other side, and we discover these really, like, to me, it would be like lessons about karma, lessons about understanding the outcomes of the decisions that we make. So let me go back over here. What I was thinking of doing is this. Okay, so that's okay. This is not an oracle reading, okay? Because you paid really good money, okay, Emma. So I'm going to do an actual little miniature, like a love and relationship thing, okay? So bear with me. Well, Emma, I'm seeing, because there's a lot of energy invested in this. I can, obviously can see from the screen here. But I'm going to do this reading first, okay, simply because Emma paid really good money and she's kind of in an emergency. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over here, okay? Yes. He's treated you really well, okay? That's really good, okay? That's good. So, like, it sounds like you got a good guy, but there's so much passion tied up in you, Emma. You're a very passionate, desirous woman, and you obviously attract the interest of potential mates. But there's a lot of energy vested in that. So it's almost like you're setting yourself up for pain every now and again, because there's just so much. It's just like such intense focus of energy there. Let me go over here, okay, Emma? Hold on. Okay. Hey, can you guys hear me now? Can you guys hear me okay right now? Just please somebody type it on the screen as fast as possible. Yeah. I gotta check. I just gotta double check the sound, okay? That's all. I'm gonna go back to the stage a second. Hold on. Let's try this. Okay. All right. So, is that better? Okay. Okay, hold on. So, it looks like you should be able to hear me now. Okay, you got it? Okay. Whew. Yeah. Okay, so you can hear me on the stage. That's good. And we've also got the audio from over here in person, okay? Excellent. Okay. Hello. Emma, let me go back. Okay, I'm going to go back to Emma. I'm going to let me go back. Okay, the sound settings are as high as I can get them right now. Just give me a second. And let's have a look. Okay, there's the problem. Okay, that should be a little bit better now. Okay, I think we should be rolling well now. All right, let me just do a little recapitulation here for Emma. Okay. Thanks, Joe. I think I fixed it. I know it's a little awkward. I'm doing a lot of improvising at the moment. So Emma, let me go back to you here. This is like a little miniature love spread that I'm using here. And it's really all about you. I'm not trying to give you yes/no answers about you and Nick getting together. This is really all about you and your energy, and we're allowing Nick to participate in the story here, okay? So I started off by saying when I saw the magician here, okay, what I was feeling is that it's really this whole reading, this whole situation between yourself and Nick is much more to do with you learning about your own power and what to do with it and how mischievous it can be. Like if you're not aware of the outcomes of your power and how energy flows where attention goes. So because your body is so focused on results and getting that connection with Nick, it's like you're missing other aspects of the relationship. And so what I'm sensing here is that the big picture is about understanding how much power and energy you put into everything that you do. My guess is that it's not just relationships and love and partnership and everything. Like wherever you focus your attention, you put everything you have, like maximum power, like a laser beam. And so that's sort of like what's happening in around you right now. And so a while back we were talking about your other fellow. I think his name was I can't remember. I think it was Tim, and he was the older fellow over in the factory, right? But now you've got some interest with Nick, okay, this new fellow, and the way I saw it on the screen is that it's to me it looks like. So let's get over to here. You see Emma again. It's like a very demanding pressure that you're putting on the cards here because you want to hear a specific outcome. I'm certain that he does have feelings, that he's attracted, because you even typed it in the screen and you indicated that he is being very, nice and like a gentleman. Okay, so that's good. That's a really good thing. But does that mean love? Okay, so it looks like there's plenty of capacity to love and be loved there, and the chances are that he would reciprocate accordingly, except that it looks to me that you're dealing with a fellow who's deliberately chosen to remain uh, solitary or single. I don't know if he has someone else, maybe he's with someone else, but he can't be with you or something like that. But either way, he's not available here. Now, that doesn't mean he doesn't love you. It doesn't mean he doesn't have feelings for you. It's making, to me, it looks like he's making a deliberate decision to maintain his, like, let's say, solitude, okay? Because he might be working on his own business about other things. He might not, as much as you might be attractive to him, and as much as you might feel strongly loving towards him, he might not be willing to act on that and do anything about it specifically, which would leave you very frustrated because you want outcome. You want something to happen according to the way you would like it to happen. In other words, I like Nick. Nick likes me. Let's fall in love. Let's do this. But that's not what's happening, because you said that there was a sort of a very gentle, polite rejection, which, even though it's gentle and polite, can still be painful. And so you end up in this situation, like stuck, okay? And so it's almost like there's nothing you can do about that, no matter how much you might be attracted to each other, him to you, at his conscious waking level. In other words, the way he uses his language and body language towards you, he's essentially on his own. It doesn't mean he's rejecting you. It doesn't mean he's dumping you. It's more like an indication like, hey, dear Emma, I'm not really available right now, you know, as to have a relationship in the way you might want. So it feels to me like he's being a gentleman at the core. So that leaves you, okay, it looks to me that leaves you in a very difficult position. Like, what am I supposed to do? With the Queen of Cups here, it feels like, to me, it's almost like I feel as though I'm Emma right now, okay? I'm just going to give you my absolute, okay? What I feel is that it's almost like I'm feeling it as though I am you, myself, right now, Emma, and you're actually here with me. And it's just like, it's almost like you're screaming at me, what am I supposed to do? What am I supposed to do? I am so lovable. I'm so loving. I have so much to offer. I'm a really good catch for somebody. I have a lot of, let's say, highly desirable qualities. Okay? For anybody in a relationship, it almost doesn't matter who this is. You've got this. But what you're discovering with that first fellow we talked about a few months ago, and with this person, Nick, now, it's almost like the same message, but it's louder. Like, well, wait a minute. I don't think it's that they don't love you or they're not attracted to you, and they're not rejecting you because they don't like you or they're not attracted to you. It's because they are on a different frequency. And so when I see the Hierophant over here, see, it's kind of a big reading. Even though it's a small number of cards, I look at it as a big reading. You're not gonna like this, Emma. You're really not gonna like this. I'm sorry, but what I'm feeling here is that there's a tremendous amount of pressure on you to have a really, really good look at yourself and figure out what exactly is that I want and expect out of a relationship. What exactly do I want and expect out of Nick, out of the fellow from a few months ago, in fact, out of any particular relationship. In other words, let's not worry about Nick. Let's not worry about the other fellow. I'm sure they have feelings for you. And same thing with the other fellow. But the thing is, the way I look at it, it's very much about you having to see a reflection coming back to you from Tarot Lumination. When it's an uncomfortable message for me to deliver, it makes me feel as though what you would really like is to have a really good, solid, loving relationship where you are theirs and they are yours, like property, like you really, really love each other. You get married, you have like a really, really classy, almost like a very traditional relationship. But the thing is, it sounds like your body and the hormones and just the desire to have a mate is dominating the whole situation to the point where you're not clear about how much power you have and where it's taking you. In other words, it's almost like you're the one doing the chasing rather than letting them chase you. You're the girl, okay? And as much as you might be desirable, and as much as guys would love to be chased by girls, there's some kind of really bizarre biological thing that is almost like a prerogative where the guys are supposed to get the girls. And so if you're in a situation where this energy changed and all of a sudden they're coming after you, then you have the power of no right now, because you want all of this and you have so much power vested in making this happen. And you're the one like approaching them and considering like it's almost like presenting yourself to them, hoping to be accepted because of your so many good assets that you have to offer. And yet, then when you get that sort of very, very gentle standoff rejection from Nick, or the sort of semi feedback from the other fellow, and it's not happening according to the high standards that you would like for yourself, you're going to feel extremely pissed off, frustrated. That's what I'm sensing here. And so the Hierophant, to me, it's sending a very, very loud message to Terra Lumination to tell Emma, please start to get very clear with yourself. What exactly do you want and expect in a relationship? It's almost like you got to write out like a list of 10 things, a list of the top 10 things you want and love and need in a relationship from a good man, a good mate, and a good partner. And then offer that to the gods and then let that come to you. Because at the moment, there's so much power in you trying to get what you want, but it's not clearly defined. To me, it looks like we need more definition. Put that into the gods, and then, like by invocation, let's bring to Emma what Emma needs and deserves. Okay? It's okay. Well, okay, I just saw one of your notes there. Okay, Emma. This is a very strong card of marriage, but I'm not sure if it's appropriate in this particular reading just now. This would be something very traditional, old-fashioned. And if it's an old-fashioned type of marriage type of situation that could occur between you guys, to me it looks like it would take quite a while, quite a bit of time for this to come into any kind of fruition. Anybody who would get married with you right now, like within a matter of weeks or a matter of months, you're almost like guaranteed to fail, okay? Because there's a lot of unresolved energy here inside of yourself, Emma, that has to be brought into really clear definition before getting married. So you have to know all that in advance, okay? You have to know that I want to get married. I want to have a home, a baby. I want to have a good person, a good mate who does this, this, and this, and that. But at the moment, it's almost like everything is being fueled by hormones, and that can get you into so much trouble so fast. Okay, and you don't need that. If you want something good, solid, and traditional that's going to last, it means you're going to have to take time. You're going to have to be patient and let them go through their processes. A lot of guys are very intimidated by very loving, capable, passionate women, okay? It almost scares them and puts them off. So what I'm sensing, okay, Emma, is don't put any pressure on this right now. This is it would be like the worst thing you could do is to go around chasing this thing and trying to make something happen. Instead, sit with the very uncomfortable energy of like, well, what is it I need to know about me, okay? And it's almost like, I think it was Fertility just said, it's time to get... Okay, well, look at some of the comments. Okay, everybody can interpret this in different ways, but I'm giving you I had very, very strong feelings here about this reading, okay, Emma? So I'm sharing this with you. I think it would be very unwise to put any more pressure on this reading in terms of expectations or pendulums or yes, no, he's going to want me or not. Yes, no, yes, no. No, it's not going to help you. This is something... To me, this is like a very uncomfortable message, something that you would have to sit with and deal with, probably in a sense of deep frustration, especially knowing that you have so much to offer and that you want things good and proper in the old-fashioned way, okay? So there's no point. Please don't put any more money in the pot, Emma, for now, because it's not going to change In other words, if you keep putting more money in to get an answer that you want to hear, then that's really not in the spirit of the readings, the way that I do them. And I think it would be really unfair of me to accept money from you in order to go that way. So this is very awkward, very uncomfortable. I'm going to ask that you accept this as it is. I also would ask you to connect with some of the other people here who are very wise. We have some very loving, capable, wise women here who've been through a lot of stuff. And they might be able to give you some guidance and tips that I cannot give you personally. Okay? Emma, I'm going to leave it at that. Bless you. Thank you very much. We need to go on with the show. We've got the Oracle show coming up. Thank you, Emma. Obviously, keep in touch, but you've got a lot of energy wrapped up in this, and I need to dissipate some of that energy, and I would start considering like hanging out with some of your peers, connecting with wise women who know a lot about this stuff. I'm simply a humble card reader in this situation here. But I think what you need would be, what would really help is to like almost like share your stories, share your story or get some feedback from people who've been through this, women who've been through these kinds of situations. Okay? Thank you, Emma. I'm going to put the deck aside now. All right, here we go. I've got to be careful. Okay. All right, let's have a look. All right, let's have a look here. I'm sorry, I don't mean to leave you hanging, Emma, but what I think would help more than anything is, sorry, excuse me, hold on, I'm getting all messed up here. I thought I was at the other stage. Oops. Okay, hold on, sorry. All right, so I want to do that thing again where we pick the different decks that we have, okay? Okay. All right, I've got 1, 3, 6, 9. I've got 10 oracles here lined up, ready to go. I'm just going to keep this one blank for now because I'm not sure if I can handle more than 10. We'll see how we go. So each one of you, what I'd like to do is have you guys think about it. I don't have it on my, hold on, maybe I'll do it on my notes, okay? Hello, Mary. Hello, King A. Hello, Joe. Hello, Fritterly. Let's have a look. Let's have a look. Okay, hold on. Give me a second. Okay, I'm going to actually play that song for Emma later. Right now, I just need a little bit of fun while I get oracles set up here. Give me a second. Hold on. Give me a second, people. I'm just trying to get organized here for the oracles now. Give me a second. All right, let's see what I can do here. Give me a second here. So, Pink Bailey, are you still here? Dear Pink Bailey, if you're still here, could you pick a deck that would appeal to you? If you're interested in handling your psychic awareness and how it's growing and expanding, try this one. If you're more interested in, you're already up in the clouds and you want to come down to earth, try the Gaia deck. If you're dealing with relationship issues, let's do this one here, love and romance. If you're going through deep internal struggles, the soul versus the ego, let's go over here. If you want to have a message from nature because of all the earth planets right now, let's go for this one. So Pink Bailey, could you give me a note? Okay. I don't see Pink Bailey might have gone away, so I'll put Pink over there. And I just saw a note from Felicia, wants number 4. Okay. Let me make a note here. Felicia wants number 4. Okay, I'll do it that way. I'll just put the number there. Thank you. Let's hope everybody finds the answers that they seek. Yeah. Okay, so Annalisa Commune, are you still here? Okay, Annalisa Commune, if you're still here, can you pick a deck, please? One of these decks for your little mini reading. And Belsamela, if you could also pick a deck. Pink Bailey wants number 3. Okay. Super duper. Love and relationship. Okay, so we got that. Annalisa Commune, are you still here? Annalisa, can you pick one of these decks for your reading when we get there? Candace wants number 4. Okay, good. Super duper. Okay. Okay, let's get started. Okay. Annalisa, it would really help if you could, excuse me, let me know which one you want. Okay? Meanwhile, let's do this for Pink Bailey, okay? So Pink Bailey wants a love and relationship oracle, okay? Georges Mary wants number 3, an oracle, okay? Okay, let's do that over here. Super duper. Yes. Okay, so Pink, you don't really have to say anything or do anything. What I would recommend is put your hands over your heart at this moment and take 3 long, deep breaths and just get centered. Okay, and please trust that a message that will come to you is what you need to hear. And I'm not going to impose any kind of expectation on the reading at all. Okay, you just have to literally, you have to trust the process, believe in the process, and love the process itself for this to work. Okay. A lot of 3s today. Okay. Okay, I see that. My gosh, we're going to have a lot of love oracles here. So this is going to be a busy day for oracles, okay, regarding relationship. So anything can happen, all right? I just saw that. Edith wants number 1, please. Okay. Certainly. I'm trying to keep I'm not used to working in these situations, so my body is kind of getting all twisted up, and I'm doing the best I can. Okay? All right. All right, Pink. Let's have a look, see what's coming up for you here. I'm just going to cut this up very, very simply, okay? It's very simple. And we're going to bless this deck, bless every single card. It's going to be working hot today. It's true love. Okay. Now, okay, don't get too carried away here when I see true love like this. Let's just say it's out there in the cosmos for you. This is the romance of a lifetime, but the thing is you have to be ready, willing, and able for this to happen. It's so much to do with preparing yourself. It's like doing a lot of grooming on the self, spiritual grooming, grooming of the heart, especially. I mean, you've got to do everything the body, the mind, the heart, and the soul. But when it comes to relationships, we really have to honor the heart dynamic in that area. And sometimes that energy is really, really out of whack with the realities of what your brain thinks is happening, because the brain is not the heart. The brain is a machine. It's a tool to look for problems, find problems, and solve problems so that you can stay alive and prosper, okay? So let's have a look. Give me a second here. All right, so pink, it says here, you pulled this card because true and lasting love is here for you. If your question here is about a specific person, then this card serves as a validation of the relationship's divine nature, okay? It has a truly loving divine aspect to it. Now, does that mean you're actually going to have sex and get married and make babies and it's going to be passionate? That's a whole different thing. But the core ingredient of love is there. And from the Tarot Lumination perspective, the things that identify a truly loving relationship, the things that you want to watch out for and know and have, are things like kindness, patience, commitment, honesty, trust, really good listening, really good communications, and deep love of self. That is a requirement. And you have to give each other room for me time, for you time, okay? So those are the important things, okay? This individual has genuine love for you, and you both can overcome the issues that arise. So if you do have problems, love can fix these things, okay? This is especially the case if you can express your feelings through attributes such as, I just said it, kindness, compassion, courtesy, respect towards each other. For instance, having honest conversations would be an expression of true love, even if it involves discussing uncomfortable topics. If you're currently seeking a relationship, this card offers you assurance that true love is on its way. It's basically you deserve it, okay? Keep the faith that a wonderful relationship is destined to come to you, and do not compromise with an unsuitable partner. It's essential that you treat yourself well by taking excellent care of yourself, for the foundation of a true love relationship is two people who cherish who they are. Okay? Love thyself. It's such an important message here. Okay? Gosh, I mean, that kind of goes for everybody. All right? Pink, I'm really glad we kind of did this, because that's like a really loud bell. Ding! Okay, let me just check in with Pink Bailey here. Hey, Pink. That reading sounded to me like a really loud bell for everybody who was here, including Emma. It's the same message. Everybody gets the same message. But now we're going to go into some details with some of the other, visitors here, okay? So I'm really kind of glad that you were the first one in and you got the first oracle, and it hit such a loud bell. Bing! Okay? So don't worry if you don't even have anybody on hand at the moment. That's not the important thing. What's really, really important is to take everything that we just talked about, come back to love thyself. It's sometimes it's so hard to do because we have so much expectation that we put out there, expecting it to come back to us. Okay. It's like, whew, okay, let's move on. Okay. Everybody's tripping over love. Yeah, okay. Thank you, Pink. I'm going to put this over here. Felicia, we're going to go with number 4. We're looking at the power of surrender, okay? So I'm really, really glad you took this card, okay, Felicia? So, Felicia, if I mean, it could be anything. If you're like one of these people who's very, very, let's say, very strong-willed, you're very capable, you want to do this, have that, but you've experienced a lot of pain, frustration, loss, and things that just don't work out. Often I sense that as a power issue of like the ego, which is, your conscious waking self. Like, Pretend I'm you, okay, Felicia. I'm Felicia. I want this. I deserve that. And then what's happening? And so you end up with this like warlike dynamic between the egoic self and the deep soul self. And sometimes the storyline is very, very different. And that's when you get this power clash, okay? And so sometimes the only way to resolve that is with surrender, okay? Because you, ultimately, this will win, okay? How many lifetimes do you want to take for this to come to center of you? That's your business. That's your choice. You make your choices up here, but the idea is to get all of this consolidated into one thing so you resonate your whole life from the heart center, okay? So one of the thing is about surrender, it looks like you're going to be the only person here who has the surrender deck, is that it feels like failure. It feels like we're giving up. We're basically saying, I'm a loser. I'm a loser. I just give up. I don't care anymore. Okay. There's another way to look at it. It's graceful. It's very, very graceful to literally surrender. Surrender. Okay. So let's go to your reading. All right, Felicia. Whatever the issue is, it's probably something to do with a deep, deep internal struggle that has not been resolved. And the more you try to resolve it, the harder it becomes to resolve. And you get to a kind of a break point, like a breakdown, like some kind of like crushing, limiting factor where you just kind of want to smash your fists on the table or bang your head into a wall or just scream and yell out of frustration. And in the end, you just say, "Oh, I give up. I give up. Okay, I surrender everything to the divine. Surrender to heaven. I surrender to the will of heaven." If you can actually say that to yourself out loud, wow. Actually, I'll play a song after that. Okay, please remind me. I'm going to play the song "I Surrender" after we do your reading. Okay, Felicia. Did I see Gregory happen to visit a little moment ago? All right, Felicia, here we go. So I just want to break up the deck here really nicely for you. Sorry, let me put this all on camera. It's a very tight, I've got some very tight staging here right now. Got to try and fit it all in, but it's working. Okay, we've got this. Let's have a look. So here we go. This is your card. Surrender your fear of change. Aha. So, Felicia, I don't know if you have a strong, if you're into astrology, if you have like a very strong component of Aquarius or Leo or Scorpio or Taurus, any one of those four, if you have those ingredients in your chart and they are dominant in some way, please could you let us know on the screen here and type it in. If not, if I had time, we could do a deep astrology reading and find out. But the fear of change is often associated with the fixed signs that I just mentioned because they can be very willful and they can be very good at using their willpower effectively. But sometimes when things go against the will, it can be very, very hard for them. And it's the sheer terror of what happens with change. Also, I'm going to read this in just a second. Felicia, you have to understand the whole planet is going under intense pressure right now because we have the big Saturn-Pluto alignment coming in January 2020. It's going to affect everybody and everything on this planet, including the individuals, governments, banks, corporations, relationships, everything. So, and it's going to mean like really profound change. It's like intense pressure to change and deal with the facts and the realities of life, okay? Which may not fit your idea of how life should be. So let's have a look. It says here, the universe is reminding you that you are cared for always. Whether you're afraid of a change in your job, your health, or a relationship, or finances, or location, or anything, growing older, losing a partner, could be anything. Or if you fear aging or death, for example, repeat this affirmation. I have faith that all is well. Okay? I have faith that all is well. In other words, when I say it, it's something like, everything is exactly as it should be. Everything is exactly as it should be. Why is this so? It's because it can't be any other way. Everything is exactly as it should be. In other words, the discomfort is what it is. The joy is what it is. The failures are what they are. The successes are what they are. The chaos and the confusion and the frustration is what it is. The simplicity of whatever it is what it is. And then the problem is accepting that. Do you see what I mean? Just trusting and accepting, like, oh my God. In other words, it's almost like Tarot Lumination is saying, wait a minute. Hold on. Fear of change, like for example, Uranus is in Taurus right now. Okay? So that's pretty shaky stuff for the whole planet, because Uranus is the planet of change. I mean, Taurus is the sign that wants the least amount of change. Taurus loves the status quo. It likes things to be nice and stable and sturdy, okay? So with Uranus in Taurus right now, it can really, really shake people up, because it is going to bring really profound changes wherever Uranus in Taurus lies in your chart. So somewhere in your chart, Felicia, Uranus in Taurus has a trigger point. At that particular trigger point, that might be the place, like if we did an astrology reading or something, that would be the place where you might have the most fear in your life, because there is such disruption that's happening to you, perhaps at very, very subtle levels. And those kinds of disruptions can trigger intense fear, not just up here, but when it goes into your heart, into your stomach, into your guts, and down into the groin area, it's terrifying. That's not just fear, that's terror, okay? So with the power of surrender, it means like, it's almost like, okay, let's flip this whole thing around. Bring it on. Bring on the changes. Bring on the change. Bring it to me. Dear angels, dear guides, dear spirits, dear invisible friends, please bring the changes that I need to come to me. Please take away everything from me, that which is not mine. Thank you very much. Something like that, a simple invocation. Oh, see, okay, look, I saw it. Okay, you've got a Leo moon, a Leo north node, and midheaven Aquarius. Okay, no wonder you fear changes. Okay, no wonder. I wouldn't be surprised if you had a really, really bumpy time in 2017 and 2018, right? Okay, so with the Taurus, Uranus and Taurus energy, that's hard squaring you. So there's a tremendous pressure to change against your natural tendency to want to be the boss of things and have things your way. So basically, you're under a lot of pressure to change. So the only way to handle it, the greater the fear, the more you walk into it. The greater the fear of the change, the more you have to make the decision to walk into it. Give up and just say, bring it on. I give up. I'm not going to fight this. Bring it to me. Bring me the changes that I need. Bring it on. Okay? And I would say it very resolutely like that. All right. Thank you, Felicia. Wow. Annalisa Commune. Annalisa Commune, you're up next here, okay? So Annalisa, this is your reading now. We're going to read for you, okay? I'm going to move all of these over here. Just give myself a little bit more room. I don't know who's still here. You have to have a lot of patience on this program, people. I'm glad you're here. Okay, Annalisa, you're up. All right, so you've got the relationships or deck. That's what we're going to do for you, okay? So just let me clear this deck. I just need to clear this, okay? Give me a second, Annalisa, and we will be with you. Just a moment. I hope you're enjoying the show for what it is. We're kind of on the road right now. Tarot Lumination is having a little vacation, and we still have to keep the show going even on vacation. So we're kind of doing this improvised setup here, and it's pretty good. It's actually kind of working. Annalisa? Let's go over here. So Annalisa, if you're still here, you might be aware that I'm not the sort of tarot reader who's going to tell you what you want to hear, and I'm not going to predict the times and dates when your twin flame is going to find you, or when you're going to run into your next romance, or how you're going to fix your existing love life. I don't really, all I do is I act as a conduit, like a portal, so that information can come to you, so that you can make your own decisions. Okay, I can't make your decisions for you. I'm not a fortune teller. Okay, so this is for you. Okay, Annalisa, this is your reading now. Okay, here we go. So regarding love and relationship, what are the messages that need to come for Annalisa coming today regarding love and relationship? Whether Annalisa is single, together, just lost someone, or just found someone, whether there is joy or sorrow, no matter what, we're going to get you a little one-card oracle. And hopefully this will give you some light, put some perspective on your situation. Okay, here we go. I'm going to cut it all up first. So your card is playfulness. This is kind of simple in a nice way. Let me just read here. It says, to recapture romance, allow your inner youthful spirit of fun to shine. Gosh, it sounds so easy for me to read this, and it's such an adorable picture. And here is a little romance angel over here watching them, making sure that they have fun. Because a lot of people, they forget to have fun. They want the outcome. They want the results. They want to feel loved. They want to feel loving. They want to get their mate. They want their mate to get them. But they forget about the fun. It all becomes like a serious enterprise. Like, well, when are we going to go out? When are we going to, finish dating and get married? When are we going to get pregnant? When are we going to divorce? When are you going to stop abusing me? When am I going to find a true mate? And so on and so on and so on. We're coming from the brain, okay? Give me a second here, okay? So Annalisa, what I'm kind of sensing here is that you might be a very serious person and perfectly capable of loving and being loved, okay? And it's so easy for love and all that stuff to just kind of fall apart. Hey, I just said hello to my host. Hello, hello, hello. And love falls apart, and then just when things, let's just say, okay, Annalise, everything's cruising along. You have a life. You've got a partner. You don't have a partner. They came, they went, or it's sweet now and it's yucky next minute. It goes up and down. Everybody wants it to be nice all the time. That's just how people are. But of course, it isn't. So you have to find ways to how do we get through this? How do we live through these things? And a lot of people forget the fun of dating, the fun of courtship, the fun of romance, the delicious feelings of enjoying someone else's company, and not worrying about, like, do they have the right job? Do they have the right looks? Do they have the right height, the weight, build? Do they have the right money, the right culture, the right background? It's like, just go and have some fun. Do something totally wacky. Let's read the book, okay? Some of you have probably heard this card before with other people, okay? Give me a second here. Let's have a look. All right, it says here, okay, Annalisa, if you're, let's just say you're a very serious person, the romance angels are basically like little cherubs. They're like little, well, they're not big. Some of them are big, actually. They come in all shapes and sizes, and they embody all things romantic. I feel very, very lucky because I have very strong relationships with my invisible friends, including everything to do with love, romance, health, uh, finances, location, all sorts of things, almost any subject you can think of. This is one of them, okay? I think this is a very, very important card. The romance angels are cherubs. They're like your invisible friends. They want to help you. They embody all things romantic, and they have a happy, youthful sense of playfulness. They delight in the wonders of love, and they ask you to do the same. It's so simple. The angels want to help you fall back into love with life again by guiding you to enjoy yourself. This comes from a spirit of joy and adventure. Notice that they didn't say anything about love and relationship. They want you to fall back in love with life itself. That's the key here. The angels are asking you, dear Annalisa, when was the last time you actually had some serious fun? Okay? If you don't remember, you've got a problem, okay? Then this fun is long overdue for you, and you need to add some playtime in your schedule, especially if you're a very busy, intelligent, hardworking person and you schedule things. You have to schedule time for fun deliberately. Like, I'm just going to go do something stupid, or I'm going to go for a walk. I'm going to go and look at shoes in the shops, even if I don't buy anything. I'm going to go and watch a movie, even though there's no reason to do so. Whatever it is, I'm going to go for a walk in nature. The angels say that fun is a necessity. It's not a luxury. I'll say that again. The angels say that fun is a necessity, not a luxury. The activity can be free of charge, okay? Exploring nature, auditioning for local theaters, joining community sports, try something new. Playfulness is a good investment of your time, and it will renew your energy levels and elevate your mood. Fun is critical to being happy. It's almost like you can't be happy without doing things that are fun. Playtime is essential in relationships, too. And it's to keep the free-spirited component of dating alive. Plan regular date nights with your partner, spontaneous date nights, or a regular once-a-month date night, something like that, where you just spend a bit of money and do something completely silly. Take turns creatively planning fun activities together. Nature walks, hiking, some kind of adventure, fun, karaoke. Ha 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 ha, karaoke. I'm going to be doing karaoke on Friday night, people. Annalisa, it's time for you to do something completely wacky and have fun. Don't even worry about the love and relationship. Have fun and be happy now and see how that affects love and relationship, okay? That's the key thing here. It always goes back to love thyself. It's time for you to have fun and fall in love with life again. All right, I'm going to put this aside for a moment. Thank you, Annalisa. Next, we have Belsamela. Belsamela, are you still here? Belsamela. Belsamela, are you still here? Belsamela? Hmm? Okay, I'll put Belsamela aside. I'm going to read for Edith Intuitive Tarot. She wants number 1, okay? This is about the psychic energies, okay? Oh, there's Belsamela. Okay, hold on. Let me look. It says here, what does Samira feeling towards me right now? We are both female and we haven't talked in 2 weeks. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Okay. All right, so we're going to look at... Okay, this is awkward. Okay, Belsamela? Because they haven't talked with you. They haven't talked with you. So that makes me feel is that you're stressing about the realities of your love and relationship, okay? So you would think it would be the obvious thing to do to pull a relationships card here, okay? And I might do that, but I'm feeling a very strong urge to pull the Gaia card deck to get you down to earth here between you and Samira, but not about the relationship. It's about you, okay? Because, and then I might end up doing something very indulgent. Just give me a second here. This is going to, it might not make sense to you just now, okay? But you got to kind of trust the process sometimes. I'm going to pull the Gaia deck, and I'm going to dedicate this reading here towards the love and relationship issue between you and Samira, okay? Because what I feel was that what we really need here is a message about coming down to earth about this thing. Because this is a very tough deck. This is like a no-nonsense deck. There's no ambiguity here. And I want to get down to earth. So I might end up doing like 2 very short oracles in a row. Okay, just don't everybody please ask me for that, because that's not a normal thing that I would do. But I feel I need to start with this for Belsamela because she's very concerned. Okay, I'm just going to pull this over here. Just give me a second, Belsamela. All right. The stage here is very tight. Excuse me, I just whacked the cameras. So let's bless this deck. Bless every single card. Bless you, Belsamela. Bless Samira. Okay? Bless Tarot Lumination, the camera, the lighting, the internet, all of it, that we can even do this at all. Okay? Perception. Okay? I hope this is going to make some sense to you. This card here is directly relevant to your situation with Samira. It's all about the energy of perception. So everything might not be as it seems to you. What appears like a relationship in one way might not be a relationship in other ways, okay? We're going to go beyond the veil of illusion, okay? It's very, very easy to get illusions and delusions in certain aspects of life right now, okay, Belsamela, because Neptune, the energy of Neptune is very, very strong right now, and we just had that Pisces full moon, okay, a few days ago, and the Virgo new moon 2 weeks ago. And for the last 2 weeks, a lot of people have been seriously wigging out about every aspect of life you can imagine, but it's all about where that Pisces Virgo axis is touching everybody, and there's the Sagittarius energy in the middle with Jupiter stuck there, okay? So let me read from here. My feeling is that, just give me a second, okay, Belsamela? Okay, it says here, perception. The lady featured on this card looks directly at the observer, okay? It's piercing direct gaze. There's nowhere to hide in this energy field, okay? Okay, so what I'm going to add, before I even read any further, because of the directness of this gaze here, I'm going to dedicate this to what I would call a 7th house energy, where there is nowhere to hide. It's the energy of marriage. It's also the energy of your worst enemies, okay? And they're right in your face. You know exactly who they are, okay? And that's what can happen in love and relationship as well. Like if it's a very direct relationship, you and another and you, if there's something not working, it means because there's something is not working. It's very simple. So, the lady featured on this card looks directly at the observer. She radiates love and wisdom, and yet She stands firmly in her own truth, okay? In other words, you seriously do not want to mess with this energy, okay? Because it's very powerful, it's loving, wise, and true, okay? Ambiguity and fuzziness and confusion is not acceptable. From this standpoint, she is able to see beyond the veil of illusion, okay? She has shown up in your reading today to reflect these same qualities within you. You are being advised to stand your ground with regards to a particular person or issue, okay? So to me, it feels like, Belsamela, you have to be very, very true to yourself. You have to be very true to the circumstances, and also respectfully true to Samira. In other words, if she's not talking to you, she's not talking to you. Now, why she's not talking, that's a whole other thing, but that's what's happening. Some people would choose to think of that as rejection, or maybe Samira wants some Samira time for Samira. Okay, maybe you're putting too much pressure on her. Maybe she has something else to do. It kind of doesn't even matter. The point is, she is not communicating. Okay, you are advised to stand your ground with regards to a particular issue or person. In other words, my feeling is, you don't have to go begging, like, why are you not communicating with me, for example, because that's what you would like. In other words, if she's not communicating with you, it's almost like, well, that's her loss, okay? Because you can still be Belsamela. Your life and happiness is not dependent on Samira. Stand within your own truth and do not be swayed by another person's beliefs, opinions, views, or actions. If it doesn't feel right, then it's not right. Trust your intuition and gut feeling on this one. Be true to yourself. You can respect another person's views, actions, opinions, and beliefs without having to change your value systems. If things don't align with your values, then don't take it on. In other words, let things be exactly as they are. And if you decide that something needs to change, then you can take action. My personal feeling is that it's very important for you to stay true into your ground, and just simply accept the fact that if she's not communicating with you, she's not communicating with you. But that's not the end of the world. It's not the end of your life, okay? My feeling is to accept this as an absolutely raw truth. You stay in your truth. Let Samira be Samira. You be you, okay? It might be very painful that you're not hearing from Samira because you want to hear from Samira. That's coming from the ego. But that's not going to help you with the soul issues here, okay? I hope this reading helps you. I would recommend that you watch this again on the action replay and listen very carefully to the words, because I think this is very true to your situation. I'm not going to pull another oracle. It's not necessary. It might not be a message that you wanted to hear, but that is the message. Thank you very much, Belsamela. Next up, we've got Edith, then Lena, then we've got Candice, then Karen, then Nikki 2, then Joe, just Mary. Okay, so I've got 6 more to go. I don't know if I'll be able to get to any more. We'll see how things keep going. So hang in, people. Hello, Edith. Are you still there? Yes, she could be trying to get your attention by not communicating with you, trying to find out whether you have the desire to communicate with her. That's perfectly okay, but you have to understand what's going on and why, and the meaning behind it. Okay? I have to clear this deck now. We're going to read from the Psychic Growth deck for Edith Intuitive Tarot. Okay? Well, that would make sense if you're already a tarot person. Hey, Belsamela, I think it's really handy right now that there are Are there people here, especially women, because 98% of the audience on this channel is female, so you might as well take full advantage, Vesamela. There are a lot of wise women here who've been through every single worst possible case scenario of love and relationship, and they have experience and they have answers. There are also people here who have answers about what really works, what really, really, really works in love and relationship. Sometimes we learn those the hard way. Sometimes the people have the most let's say, the most joyful, loving relationships have also endured the most pain. Okay? So I'm just going to leave you with that, Belsamela. So please take advantage of the others who are here. They might have a secret message for you as well, a little hidden message. I'm just going to clear this up. All right, Edith, you are up. I just want to check out with Belsamela. Hey, Belsamela. Hi, this is Terra Lumination. Terra Lumination is on the road. We're kind of improvising the show right now, and I'll get as many readings done as I can. You have to trust the process. I really felt that I had to go towards the Gaia deck, even though we're talking about relationship, but I do feel personally that the message is very clear and very resonant for you, and when you need to digest the message, and think about it, what it really, really means, and then maybe get some more feedback from some of the others here, okay? Thank you, Belsamela. Okay, we got Edith, you're up. Let's have a look. Edith? All right, there we are. Okay, Edith, you're up. I'm going to move these again. Just want to get everything kind of lined up in order here. Nikki's over here. Joe Just Mary's over here. Edith. Okay, Edith, you're up. So, Edith, the Intuitive Tarot. You've probably had this experience, Edith, where the deeper you go, the more bizarre it gets. And the more that your psychic self opens up, the more you are challenged to stay at those frequencies. Okay, let me go back to a second. Okay, hold on. Okay, even before we get into your reading, I wanted to give you my perception, because a lot of readers come to the channel, and the thing is, like, a lot of people come in with such kindness and heart and soul and generosity, and they're so giving and so kind with their services, and then they end up like having issues themselves because they haven't done enough self-care, self-love, and self-healing. And then everything starts to crash down. Like, why are things not working? You know? But what tends to happen is the more and more you get used to operating at higher and higher frequencies, it requires more and more self-love, which can often imply you need more time, peace, and quiet and privacy for yourself, no matter what else is going on in your life. And you have to schedule that in. You might need to sleep more. You might need to say no a lot more, or not a lot more, but start increasingly using the healing power of no, not taking on things that are not good for you. In other words, for you to be a really good, operating really well at those frequencies, then it requires a lot of self-care, maintenance, repairs, purification, clarifying, cleansing, constantly cleaning and cleansing the soul and the spirit and the psyche, because the more high frequency that you become, the more likely that you're going to attract spiritual debris, all this, like the lint, all the spiritual lint and garbage and trash that's out there, and you don't need it. Okay, so you have to find ways to cleanse, constantly cleansing. Okay, let's get to your reading. Here we go. Let's have a look. So, whatever the issue is regarding your psychic vibes, we're going to have a look at it, okay? It's about how to awaken your existing vibes even more so that you become even better and better at being Edith. Basically, I'm going to, in a very simple way, the higher the frequencies at which you choose to operate, the more and more challenges you will attract. Okay? That's the reality of the situation. And the harder the challenges will be. And that's the second layer of reality. Okay? You might not have wanted to hear that, but that's how it is. And you need to know. Otherwise, you end up really caught off guard, and you can end up being a victim of yourself. Here we go. Let's have a look. Bless this whole deck. Bless you, Edith. Again, bless the channel and the cameras and the lights and the hosts and the location, electricity, everything. Be grateful. Okay, it's really simple. Attitude of gratitude. I mean, that covers everything. Sometimes, okay, I'm just going to go to the book first. Hold on. It's so easy to forget this. The attitude of gratitude is like the more you have, the more you take it for granted. And in some ways, the harder and harder it is to recycle yourself back to remembering the attitude of gratitude. I slip. I slip up all the time, and then I have to recalibrate and get back into the attitude of gratitude because I feel like I'm losing something. And then I realize everything is exactly as it should be, and then I'm grateful, even for the challenges. Okay, here we go. It says here, be grateful. Okay, this is for you, Edith. Make a list. Okay, so here's the little card. Here's a pillar, here's home, here's a pen, here's sun, here's love, here's spirituality, here's friends and companions, here's pets and people, plants, nature, sky, all of that. Make a list of all that you have been given so that you can fully absorb how much abundance you truly enjoy in your life. Think of this as a gratitude list. Add to it daily as you notice the little things in your life that you truly appreciate. Rather than worrying about everything that you don't have, look at all that you do have. As you understand how thankful you should be, send a signal to the universe to give you more. And it will. Beautiful. That's probably one of the most powerful cards in the deck in some ways. Yeah. For example, because I've kind of been lucky when I was a kid. I traveled a lot and I was exposed to a lot. I've lived in some big, beautiful homes. I've traveled and visited big, beautiful homes and families and gone to some amazing locations on the earth. But I've also seen a lot of deprivation and crime and poverty and tragedy and loss. And, you know, if we're doing this whole thing on this channel here, so the likelihood is that each and every one here, we have things like, if we want it, every day. You can have hot and cold water, a shower, food in a refrigerator, transportation, communications, being able to get on the internet and get a reading, having friends and family, having clothes, having things like a job. There are billions of people on the planet, probably about 2 billion people, who don't have any of that stuff that I just mentioned. They are literally a subsistence level existence. That's it. That's it. So just in terms of that statistic alone, that's something to be grateful for. Don't worry, Edith. I'm sure you understand here. You've probably got so much going already. But if things weren't working out or they're not working out the way you want, and you're focusing on the problems about what's not working, that's not going to help anything. You have to be aware of what's not working and how you're not getting what you fully deserve, for example. But if you pump energy and focus on that, then you're just going to create misery. I've learned that the hard way many times, and I'm still learning it right now. Okay? So you have to flip it around and constantly go back into the attitude of gratitude and then trusting in how the universe works. Trusting that the divine will bring you the things that you really need. Dear angels, dear invisible guides, Dear heaven, please bring to me that which is mine. Please take away from me that which is not mine. I am grateful. I am truly grateful. Thank you. Lena, you're up. I just want to clear this one. I'm just going to clear this up. Oh, I said I was going to play the surrender song. Thank you very much, okay? Thank you, Edith. I got that. I'm going to play the I Surrender theme because this is partly for Emma from earlier, but also for, who was it who put the surrender deck? Anyway, I'm going to play it. Here we go. It sounds like this. It's just one of my little acoustic songs that I wrote. I surrender. Oh, how the body craves. Oh, how the heart it aches. Oh, how the soul knows all of this. This is for Felicia like you specifically. Manifested me in ways that match perfectly, answering my own wish for sure. So many lifetimes in the making. This time round there is no faking, no mistaking. I surrender, I surrender. My hands are held up high, my knees are on the ground. I surrender, I surrender. I hand myself over to the mystery of your sweet embrace. There's no going back, don't even have any maps to our new futures. There's only our next breath. We're so fully committed and so fully engaged, so courageous and fighters to the death, building bridges from your heart to my heart, forging bonds of honest structure, our new start. I surrender, I surrender. My hands are held up high, my knees are on the ground. I surrender, I surrender. I hand myself over to the mystery of your sweet embrace. There's no way around this, only way out is through. There's no way around this, open the door to bliss. Only way out is through, that's what we're gonna do, yeah. I surrender, I surrender. My hands are held up high, my knees are on the ground. I surrender, I surrender. I hand myself over to the mystery of your sweet embrace. I surrender. My hands are held up high, my knees are on the ground. I surrender, I surrender. I hand myself over to the mystery of your sweet embrace. All right, so there we go. Yeah, I know. It just completely flew out of my hands. Hello, all son. Greetings. How are you, sir? Yeah. A natural poet. And I didn't know it. Yep. I guess so. Because, yeah, in a way you're right, Candace, because I have a lot more music and songs than I've ever showed everybody on the channel here. And if you wanted to, you could just throw away all the music and just keep the words, and then you have a book of poetry, lyrical poetry. There you go. Yeah, I guess we could do that. Yeah, so the way I tend to write songs and music is very, very simple. Really super simple. Hold on, Lena, I just want to check in with you. Give me a second here. Hey, Lena, how are you? Thank you for visiting last night for the campfire. It was our first ever campfire, a real campfire. Wasn't that amazing? I don't know who else saw it, but it was a really big deal for Terra Illumination. It was the first ever Terra Illumination campfire on the road. Fantastic. It was explosive. We sent rockets into space. We had marshmallow readings. It was fantastic. Fantastic. Okay? Yeah. So, Lena, as you know, everybody, Lena is very deep into the world of music. She knows a lot more about music and musicians than I do. I'm a humble singer-songwriter. I always wanted to be a rich and famous pop star, but it never quite happened. You never know. It might still happen. But what I like is a good words, a good tune, and a good beat. And the production is just like, well, okay, if you want to make it sound all clickety click, you can do that if you want. If you want it to sound like a big orchestra, you can do that. If you want it to sound like a singer-songwriter with an acoustic guitar, let's do that. I like to have a complete open landscape for music and musicians. But at the core, the way I work, it's the song itself. It's the actual song itself. That's what counts in my little world, okay? Good words, a good tune, and a good beat. That's it. That's all we do here, baby. So we'll do some of that a little bit later, just for kicks, all right? All right, Lena. Okay. Hey, Path Traveler. Greetings. Joe, you missed the campfire. Oh my gosh. Seriously, Joe, it was explosive. I'm not kidding. If you are completely lost for an hour and you want to do something wacky, go back and watch the action replay video. It's on the channel. And have fun with that. It was totally spontaneous. It's literally a free sample of exactly how life would be in a Terra Illumination campfire setting. And you could probably notice that most of it's just about having silly fun, and we only did a very small number of actual readings. In fact, I think it was only 2 readings. Yes, Candace, perfect. We'll do campfire songs. Also, I'm one of those people, I like some of the old-fashioned pop songs from the 60s, you know, where they do lots of singing and vocal harmonies and stuff. Really old music, like old pop music. And even some of the 50s, like from the 1950s, some of the, you know, Roy Orbisons and things like that. I also like Dionne Warwick type sounds. We're going back a ways. Also, Edith Piaf. Wow, that amazing French singer. Lena, here we go. Lena has the most amazing, let's say, vibes when it comes to love and relationship and stuff. It's off the charts, but it's very, very unconventional. Let's just say, Lena, it's very unconventional. So let's pull this out here, see what it says here for you. Make the effort. Oh my gosh, I'm surprised because you make so much effort already. You put so much work into your life. So much work. Okay, can you see the little couple here? These are little kids. They're just little kids. I don't know about you, but I resonate with this card very, very strongly. I was very aware of love and relationships when I was a tiny little kid. Great love is worth taking the steps that you are guided to take. Okay, so let's just pretend that's Lena. That's Lena right there, taking the steps that you're guided to take. Okay? Now the thing is, in your case, Lena, things are very unconventional. And so to me, it feels like you're constantly having to face the unknown. Like, you know, maybe all your friends, your girlfriends, and everybody's dating online, or they have their spiritual twin flames in a different country, and they have like a local lover, and then they have things like marriage and babies and homes, and then all sorts of different ways of having relationship. But your situation, Lena, is very unique. And so you're constantly having to deal with like, well, what is this? What about now? Okay, let's have a look here. So when it says make the effort, it doesn't, I'm not saying this is like, oh, Lena, you're being so lazy. You're not like doing what has to be done. To me, when it says make the effort, it means having to make the extra effort simply just to deal with the fact that your situation and how love and relationship works for you is kind of unique, and that it isn't just make the effort, it's let's make it more like this. It's more like you have to make the effort, because if you don't, then the uniqueness and the value of the situation can't grow or manifest. So it is worth it. It's definitely worth making the effort. Let's have a look here. You have received this card because some action steps on your part are necessary in order for your prayers about your love life to be answered. The angels have opened the doors for you, but now it's time for you to walk through them. That's a whole different thing. The first thing that comes to mind with respect to taking action is a good starting place for you. Now, that might be difficult. So what would you think of as might be a good step of action where you have to actually do something? Maybe doing something means stepping back, or maybe stepping forward, maybe even deeper communications, or even deeper, greater clarity inside the existing communications and the existing relationships. All of that requires work. Work is like another word for effort here. When you ask for spiritual help, you always receive it. Often this help comes in the form of intuitive guidance, which consists of repetitive feelings and thoughts and like synchronistic events. You get the sense that you should do this or that. You receive this card as a nudge to actually take that action. In other words, if you're getting the divine guidance and you're just thinking about it and contemplating, that's one thing. But if you're getting strong divine guidance and indications of synchronicity, then the next step is to take action. Taking action means going into the unknown, taking risks, doing something that exposes you to risk. You receive this card as a nudge to actually take that action. You will then receive the next piece of the puzzle, meaning that another intuitive message about what to do will come to you, and then you have to make the effort to figure out what to do from there, which means more action. So it's work. All of this is work. It's almost like you're a pioneer. Lena, to me, it feels like you are a pioneer in love and relationship, and your situations always seem so unique that it's work. It ends up being work. It isn't just something that falls into your lap and all of a sudden you have happiness. So if you like, you can ask the angels to give you the motivation, the courage, the time, and energy to take these steps. Know that each one brings you closer upon the pathway to great love. You know how some of the relationship readings earlier, I was hinting that it's time for the girls to step back and allow the relationship to just sit, or allow the other person to come to you. This is quite different. This makes me feel as though I'm not saying you have to go and chase somebody that you want or block someone that you don't want. To me, it feels more like paying very, very close to your intuition and letting your intuition guide you about each tiny step, each tiny action to the next step of evolution in your love and relationship world. So then whatever happens is what happens. They come to you, you go to them, whatever it is, or the next event occurs, like a next level of communication, and then you go from there. Also, Lena, I would like to add that uh, every relationship, I believe, that has great value and great joy is going to have challenging moments, and it's going to require work. It's going to require the deliberate expense of energy to go out of your way, above and beyond your comfort zone, your natural comfort zone, in order to spiritually evolve and grow and adapt in the way that's best for you, which is ultimately what's best for you and your partners and your loved ones, which is the best thing for the whole planet. That's kind of almost like my definition of love. So in some ways, Lena, you might not like the message because it's just like, oh my God, you're just telling me it's just more work to yell. It's work. Well, there's always a little element of work in love and relationship. Candace, you're up next. Thank you, Lena. Candace is very bold. She's going for the power of surrender cards. Okay. So I just played that song about surrender. All right, Candace, we're up. Yeah. All right, Candace, here we go. This one's for you. Karen V, if you're still here, could you consider selecting your deck? Okay, I've got these decks here. We still have Karen V, Nikki 2, and Joe Just Mary, if you guys are still here. I've got these decks that I'm working with right now. So please pick one of these. I'll just hold that up steady for you. There we go. Thank you. I just need a sip here. So again, Candace, with the power of surrender, what we're dealing with is the art of letting go. It's the art of living. It's the art of growing, expanding, becoming like a fuller, richer, happier person through the act of releasing, the act of surrender, the act of letting go of especially what the ego wants. If the ego wants this in order to feel satisfied, like being a winner, getting what you want, having the world work according to the way you feel it should work for you, and yet the, let's say, the currents, the deep currents of your soul want you to go in another direction, that puts you at a deep odds, self with self, because it's all of you living inside of yourself here. I did that thing earlier where you talked about it like if you look at the ego and the self, and a lot of people think it's all the same thing, but sometimes they're very different because a lot of the egoic energy happens up here because that's where we make all our decisions, and our brain is like just a device to detect problems and solve them, and our ego wants to win, win, win all the time, all the time. Anything less than that equals failure. And the last thing that the ego wants is to fail or to be rejected, to lose, to feel that they have to let go or literally give up. It's like that's what you do not do. But with the power of surrender, the whole idea is like Give up. Basically surrender to the higher good, okay? This stuff up here. Got it? Sometimes it's a war. Sometimes it's a war between the self and the self. I think of it as the ego and the soul, but to get it really, really blunt where you can't tell the difference, the self and the self. All right, here we go. Yeah, I've done one of those trust fall things. It's like, you know, those kids who do mosh pit dancing, you know, I think it was fashionable like 20 years ago or something, where people just dive into a pit of human beings and just, you just trust that they're going to catch you. I don't think it always worked though. That was probably all in the days before YouTube. All right, Candace, let's just trust in the process and that the correct message will come to you that you need to hear. Okay, gosh, I keep listening. Sorry, I keep getting, it's a very cramped situation here for the staging. So I have to be really careful. Let's have a look. Okay, here we go. Here's your message. Surrender low self-esteem. You deserve success, love, and abundance. Set an intention to identify and release any remnants of low self-esteem. Can you see that? This is a beautiful, it's like a oil pastels painting of a sunflower. So it's big and big and big and huge and fuzzy and bright and warm. I don't know, maybe, Candace, what I'm sensing is that you have a lot of self-awareness. That's what I'm sensing. You have a lot of self-awareness, but it's almost like you set very high standards for yourself, and anything less than amazing on all the categories in life which require us to be amazing. Anything less than that, you really are hard on yourself. Okay, that's what I'm sensing here right now. It's almost as if you're right here in the room, and this is very awkward and uncomfortable, but very simple and very true. To me, it feels like you set very high standards for yourself, and you would like to have something reciprocal from others. And then when that doesn't happen, it can lead to tremendous disappointment. And then the backlash of that is because, like anybody who's operating at those kind of frequencies where they're constantly refining, cleansing, purifying themselves to do the self-love, to do the maintenance, and then things end up being disappointing, they start punishing themselves. Like, what am I doing wrong? What have I done wrong? Like, it must be me. It must be me. It must be me. I'm so messed up. I'm so screwed up. And then they take on the pains and the sorrows of the world and the collective as though it's their own. And then it just gets worse and worse and worse. And so anybody who's ever suffered from low self-esteem will understand what we were just talking about here. So if you have a little bit of this inside you, it almost feels to me like even the slightest bit of it would be very painful for you and very debilitating. Okay? I'll read it again. You deserve success, love, and abundance. Set an intention to identify and release any remnants of low self-esteem. Okay, so it's okay. It might be an idea to make a list of things that you would identify that, as markers for so low self-esteem. But what I like to do personally, I like to flip it around and focus on the positive side of it. And I have a little tiny invocation that I use for myself. I'd like to share that with you. It's very simple. And you can just repeat it to yourself over and over like I do, because I have to. It goes like this. Actually, I'll do it with you personally. One of the cats is meowing. Oh, there's a little cat meowing here. Wants attention. It goes like this. Hold on, Candice. It goes like this. It's really simple because I suffer a lot. I have my own issues. I'm just like you guys. I have my moments of extreme self-doubt, and I punish myself as though I'm the worst human being on the planet, even though I know I'm not. Okay? So I deal with similar battle fronts. I understand the battle between ego and soul. So in your situation here with the issue of self-esteem, it says, okay, it says it's like a command. It says, surrender low self-esteem. Do you have any idea how hard that is to do with someone who is suffering from low self-esteem? I do. So I'm sharing that with you. I like to turn it around. This is what I do. I look up to my invisible friends and I hang out with them as though they're right here. And I talk to them, literally. I look at them and I tell them, listen, I am worthy. I am deserving. I am open to receive. I am ready. I am willing. I am able to receive. Please. And eventually, of course, they will say, yes, of course. Of course, TL, obviously. Like, so why are you doubting yourself? Change the tone. And this is how subtle it gets. I'm not kidding, Candace. This is how subtle it gets. Listen to the difference in tone. Okay, so you seize the power and it becomes more of an invocation and a declaration. I am worthy. I am deserving. I am open to receive. I am ready. I am willing. I am able to receive. Fill in the blank. Self-esteem. Get it? In other words, you don't have to be arrogant or narcissist and egomaniac to compensate for low self-esteem. You can start in little chunks like, wow, I'm actually relatively quite honest. I'm trustworthy. I'm affectionate. I'm patient. I'm kind. I have all of these things that are very valuable. So you can go through all of that stuff yourself, okay, like it said here, okay? I'm going to read it again because it's a really important message for you, Candace, because my feeling is that we're dealing with a very, very deeply buried issue here, and you know this very, very well. It's not something that you would like to talk about or share in public particularly, but that's what came up here. You deserve success, love, and abundance. So set an intention to identify and release any remnants of low self-esteem. Okay, make a list of it, and then go back to some kind of declaration, invocation to set things right. Bring in the self-esteem. Surrender. So it's very easy to get addicted to low self-esteem, by the way. That's another thing. Just let me round off with that. Hold on. This is another little like secret tip thing, okay, Candice? It is very, very much a hook. It's like heroin, morphine, all those sort of super, super seductive opioids. You can fall in love with that stuff and think it's like heaven. And low self-esteem gives you the perfect excuse, the perfect way out of anything so that you can be a victim. You can constantly play the victim card when you hold low self-esteem here. It gives you a rationale for carrying oneself continuously as a victim to some degree or other, like high-level victim, medium, low-level victim, but always that victim, okay? So you can cherish the energy of low self-esteem almost like a tool, okay, to get through life. It becomes a survival mechanism, but it's ultimately not healthy. So that's why we're kind of dealing with this issue in a very awkward way. I hope that makes sense. Yeah, I'm glad you get it. It sounds, like I'm twisting everything here, but I hope you understand the message that I'm trying to send across. Okay, thank you, Candice. Super duper. That one kind of got subtle because I was really feeling everything there on the inverse, okay? When you think about it, surrender low self-esteem, and we just did the flip, allow self-esteem to come into your life. That's a very different way of looking at it. Allow yourself to have dignity, self-respect. Allow yourself to use the healing power of no. Allow yourself to enjoy your own company without having to apologize or explain. Allow yourself to remove yourself from people, situations, and places that would equate with you being a victim. I'm not just saying you can just pull a switch and that automatically stops, but you can learn how to do that. You can slowly, gently learn how to surrender low self-esteem. Okay, I don't know. Karen V, are you still here? I'm sorry, it's been a long time. We've been going 2 hours now. Karen, are you still here? Karen, are you still here? Could you type it in? If so, which deck would you like? I would love to know. I'll put you here for a minute. Nikki 2, are you still here? Nikki 2. Nikki 2. And if so, which deck would you like? Same thing over here. Joe, are you still here? We've already got a deck lined up for you. We're going to do the number 3, the romance thingies. I'm just going to check out with the chat for a second. Give me a moment. I'm going to fill up my cup. I'm going to fill my own cup here. So I'm going to put on a little bit of a tune for you guys. And I'm going to just see who else is here. At the moment, we've got it lined up for Karen, and then Nikki, and then Joe. But if they've all had to go, then we can replace them with new people if you're still here and anybody still wants a reading. Okay, so in the meantime, I'm going to put a little bit of a tune on here. Actually, I'm going to leave you guys on the screen to remind you here, but I'm also going to put, okay, I'm going to do this. Because if Karen and Nikki and Joe have disappeared, then I don't know what to tell you. I might do Joe because she already picked her deck, but if Nikki's gone already and Karen's gone, then Nikki's here. Okay, Nikki is here. Nikki, which deck would you like? Just give me an idea here. I've got these different decks for different aspects of your life, okay? Oh, you want the number 3. That was pretty quick. Pretty quick response. All right, we can do that. I've had a lot of number 3 today. Love and romance. Now, I might not even use that deck. Oh, let's have a look. Hey, Pam Pam. What's going on? Joe, are you still here? Joe, are you still here? What I might do, I'll put Nikki to the front of the line, okay? So that keeps us in order. I've got a big question mark over Karen. I think Karen's gone. I'm just going to put Karen aside over here because I think she disappeared. And Joe, I don't know what to do about you at the moment, so I'm going to put you aside. I'm going to leave room for 2 more blanks here. If there's anybody new who just arrived recently and we didn't get you your own magic post-it note, then this might be your lucky moment. Now, who's out there who would like one who just arrived recently? Because we're going to fill the empty slots. I can handle these. I can handle Nikki and another one, and they'll see how we go after there. My throat is getting a little bit sore because we had a very hysterical evening last night, and there was a lot of hilarity and screaming and yelling and hooping and hollering, and we have more shows to do, people, so I can't afford to do any burnout. Jennifer Myers is here, and Love's Light is here. Okay, how about that? Starzy is here. Oh my gosh, there's more. Hold on. Oh my God, what did I do? Uh-oh. Uh-oh. I'll just put those 3 on, and that'll be it. Okay, that's it. Okay. Jennifer Myers. Love's Light. Okay, there we go. And S star C, of course, S star C. Let's leave it at that. Let's leave it at that, people. Okay, so we've got some lineup here. So give me a second. I do need a bit of a break anyway. I'm just making some space here. Give me a moment. Thank you very much. Okay, Nikki wants to know if I should completely give up on someone I haven't spoken to since May. Okay, so that's a big hole, big question mark in communications. All right, let's have a look. I'm going to put on, give myself a little, just bear with me. I know you guys, you have to be very patient with tarot illumination, all right? That's how it is. I'm going to put on a little, just a tune. Hold on. Yeah, give me a second here. I'm going to put on Taste Your Dreams. Here it goes. It sounds like this, because this is what I want for the whole planet, everybody. Okay. This is kind of my Beatles song, my Bob Marley song for the whole world.
If you wish for a simple miracle, if you wish you can have one right away, all you need is some faith, is the will. Ask for it and it will come to you today. Hey, hey, I want you to be oh so happy. I want you to be your higher self, yeah. I want you to live and die laughing. Taste your dreams today. Taste your dreams this way, yeah. Na-da-da-da-da, na-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. La-da-da-da-da. And if you wish to be in a state of grace, ask for it and it will meet you face to face. And if you wish, if you dare to dream, you will find that it's easier than it seems. Hey, hey, I want you to be oh so happy. I want you to be your higher self, yeah. I want you to live and die laughing. Taste your dreams today. Taste your dreams this way, yeah. Oh, da 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 la da 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 la da 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 oh la da 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 oh oh yeah. I want you to be oh so happy, yeah. I want you to be your higher self, yeah, yeah. I want you to live and die laughing. Taste your dreams today. Taste your dreams this way. Taste your dreams this way. Taste your dreams today. Okay.
There we are. Yeah, so In case you're not aware, this is Terra Lumination on the road. We're traveling. Terra Lumination is in sunny Las Vegas right now. We had a crazy fun night last night. You can check it out on the channel. It was our first live ever Terra Lumination campfire. It took years to get this together. Years, but we finally did it. And hopefully we will do this again one day. Okay, let's get back to the readings. We have Nikki 2. Nikki 2 is wondering about someone where there's been no communication since May. Give me a second here. I'm setting up everything. Sounds like a real puzzle kind of energy. You know what? I'm tempted to do a very quick thing here, Nikki. And if it doesn't resonate, I might jump to Nature's Whispers. Or got an idea. Give me a second, Nikki. This one's for you, okay? So this is about a very particular someone, okay? Let's just trust in the card here. Love's Light and Jennifer and Starzy, please, to help us all with the issues of time, because we've been here a long time. We got a lot of work. Get ready to pick your deck, okay? I'm not watching the screen for chats. I'm focusing on with Nikki right now, so you'll have to kind of catch me at the very last second. Let's see, how do I do this? Okay, let's break this up all the way over here and into here, and we just trust in the process. Give me a second. All right, Nikki, here we go. Chemistry. Ah, aha, 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 aha. Now it says there's a strong magnetic attraction here, but what I have found with the chemistry things is that you can have like an alchemical attraction that is not necessarily a healthy one, okay? And you can end up with a puzzle or a confusion or some kind of thing that just does not make sense about the love and the relationship, even though there is still a sensation. Like sometimes people can still have very strong magnetic links, but there's no actual relationship anymore because there's a lot of stuff that's happening on the soul level that can't really be conducted on the day-to-day three-dimensional level, you know, with like regular day-to-day activities in love and relationship. So let's have a look at this. So the chances are, my feeling, Nikki, the chances are you might be dealing with someone here who's in a similar situation with you, like, you know, they haven't heard from you, you haven't heard from them. Like, what does it mean when you haven't reached out to them? What does it mean when they haven't reached out to you? And people are still trying to do the homework inside of them. Remember, we've had, recently, we had 5 planets retrograde. That's a ton of retrograde energy. And we just lost another one today. So we're still down to 3. We still got Uranus, Neptune, and Pluto all retrograde right now. Saturn is flipping today. And so there's a lot of stuff that's happening for all of us deep, deep, deep at the soul level, which I would only call processing. And that can include love and relationships and the communications that go with love and relationship. Okay. You have received this card because you feel a strong dynamic pull towards another person. In other words, you share chemistry with him or her. This creates intense pleasurable sensations that draw you to each other. If a person is someone other than your partner in a committed relationship, then the chemistry is probably a source of both stress and escape. You'll need to weigh your options and the consequences carefully before or instead of leaving a current partner or embarking on an affair. If, however, you are single and you feel this pull towards another unattached person, or even if they are attached, then this card brings you a go-ahead green light of good news. Most likely the chemistry is mutual and merits exploration. So I don't know the nature of your situation here, Nikki, exactly. I can't recall. I think we've done some readings before. But it might be that it's almost like a mirror image situation. Maybe they are puzzling just as much as you, like, why have they not contacted me? What is the gap here? In some cases, this card may mean that a lack of chemistry is a cause for relationship issues and personal discontent. Okay, that's the shadow aspect. That's the flip side of the word chemistry. In other words, there's chemistry, but then there's the lack of chemistry. So this might be this part of the reading might be much more appropriate to your situation. In some cases, this card may mean that a lack of chemistry is a cause for relationship issues and personal discontent. That might be what you're feeling. If there was chemistry initially, it may be restored by devoting effort to the relationship. Passion, sparks, and romance can be revived through playfulness, thoughtfulness, time together, and caring gestures. But my honest feeling is that without good, solid, healthy, open communications, good listening, good speaking, none of that stuff can happen. It's like one of the most vital things about love and relationship is communication. It's almost like no communications, no relations. Call upon the romance angels to guide you as you make important decisions about channeling this chemistry. In other words, if there is no chemistry and you know it and you admit it, then there's no point in dwelling on this thing anymore. If there is chemistry, but things aren't working out in an orderly way, then there's an indication that it would be perfectly reasonable for you to do something about that, for you to take it upon yourself. I hope that helps you, Nikki. It's an awkward reading. That came out as a very awkward reading. I have to clear it up. Love's Light, what's going on with you? Let me just check. Hold on, I'm going to check in here. Oh, strong chemistry. Oh, maybe that's the good thing. So it's up to you, Nikki. You're going to have to do your own reinterpretation of all of that. Okay? I'm just checking the chat here. Chemistry, I believe, is very, very important. There's no point in trying to force it. It's there or it's not. Okay? Love's Light wants number 3 as well. Okay, all right, that's what we'll do. Thank you, Nikki. Check in again sometime, all right? Hello, Love's Light. I see you. I see you. We're going to do number 3. Actually, you were here a couple times before, but you never got a reading. Is that correct? Anyway, we're going to do one now. Thank you, Nikki. Here we go. This goes over here. I'm going to put that on there, like so. And then after Love's Light, we have Jennifer Myers and then S. Starcy. Okay? So I'll put you guys up here and then over here like this. Perfect. Path is staying in her own lane. Okay. Hey, Love's Light. Hey. Hey, Love's Light. I don't know why, but I just felt this thing like you're here, like you're very, very, very close here, like right now. Like I don't know why, but it felt like, oh my gosh, love light energy is right here. It's like to me it feels very soft, very gentle, and very appreciative, and a lot of gratitude. I have a feeling that's kind of your natural setting. You might be very a little bit shy, a little bit retiring by nature, uh, but not in a way that's lack of self-esteem. It's just like a lot of energy of humility. I don't know if that any of that resonates with you, but I sense you right here, right now, with that, and it's quite cozy. That's what I would say. Okay. That was funny. It doesn't happen all the time with everybody. It was just spontaneously. It just happened right then. It's almost like you just jumped out of my laptop screen. I don't know if you can see this, everybody, but Path Traveler just wrote something on the screen. It says, "Hey TL, stay longer. Your energy is incredible." Thank you. Thank you, Path. Thank you for the encouragement. I'm just going to check something. Oh, look. Love's Light just wrote in, didn't rode in. Like an old Western movie. She just wrote in that I actually picked up. Oh, that's good. I like knowing that. Sometimes it's very difficult because I've done a fair bit of work as like a sort of a psychic medium type, but it was more like as a consultant for psychic mediums. I've told that story many times. And now and again, it's nice to have some kind of validation or some sort of assurance that uh, those kind of, let's say, faculties still exist inside me, and they only operate when they're supposed to operate according to like what I would call divine intervention. So it doesn't always happen, and I don't tell people that it's my job, so I don't make it happen. I don't have a psychic channel or anything like that. It just happens when it happens. Love's Light, what do we have here for you? Forgiving and learning. This is a challenging energy for anybody to handle in love and relationship. It's very easy to resonate because a lot of us have dealt with situations where relationships go in different directions, have different outcomes than certain expectations. People can end up hurting each other really, really badly. Even very loving people can end up hurting each other very badly, even with no deliberate intent or desire to do so. It's just that in our human existence, we only have certain levels of abilities before we crack. All of us have our an Achilles heel, whatever they call it, the moment where everything cracks. It doesn't matter how good everything else is. There's always one point. Have you ever heard that expression? It's like it's like in physics, life, in business, in finances, and your body, everything. You're only as good as the weakest link. You're only as strong as the weakest link. So you might be very physically strong in your upper body, but if you've got a broken, hip, you're kind of screwed. Or if you're super hyper intelligent, but you're also like a narcissist and prone to violence, what use is that? You're only as strong as the weakest link. So you have to discover. It's almost like a really useful and productive, although uncomfortable, thing in life to discover what is your weak link. Sometimes we discover our weak link in the most painful and the weakest links we discover in the context of love and relationship. And sadly, that's where the mirror of relationship is so valuable, but where so much damage can happen. It says, forgiving and learning. As you release and heal the past, you experience more love in your present moments. Okay? It sounds easy for me to read. It's not so easy to do. All right, so I'm just going to read for you, okay, Love's Light? The romance angels have heard your desire for great love, and they bring you this card as guidance. They see that your heart can give and receive the bliss of romance by clearing away the cobwebs of the past. Oh my gosh, that is so true. Have you ever heard that expression, like when newly formed couples, they go, they date and then they start having passionate interludes and then they, live together and things like that. And then we get to this point where you realize the person that you're sleeping next to and the person that they're sleeping next to is kind of like a collection of unresolved problems. And you start noticing everything that's wrong, like whatever happened with their childhood, their upbringing, and they notice everything that's not working about you. But all relationships go through that. It's like a process of discovery. And it's almost always uncomfortable because you're learning everything that doesn't work. You could just call that baggage. We all have baggage. A lot of people, all they only want is the good stuff in a relationship. Just give me the good stuff and take away everything else. I don't care. But that's not going to go very far. Okay, I'll say this one again. You can receive the bliss of romance by clearing away the cobwebs of the past. This is like forgiving and forgetting. Learning. The angels know that you have been hurt before and that you are wary of being hurt again. And yet, your defenses are creating barriers to allowing love into your life. In other words, the defenses are literally blocking everything. It's understandable. It's a very common problem, but it's a very difficult problem to be aware of or diagnose or fix. As you heal your past, you won't keep recreating it. After all, you attract into your life the situations and relationships that remind you of what you've already experienced, because this is a primary tool of healing and learning. So to change to a healthier relationship pattern, it is necessary to detoxify any old anger, blame, or unforgiveness you may be holding. This includes forgiving yourself. Like you might have a lot of bitterness, resentment, anger, unforgiveness, blame, all of that stuff towards yourself, towards another, towards a current partner, or towards some people in the past that has never been resolved and healed, and that energy can contaminate anything in the present day. If you call upon the angels and ask them to help you release and heal your past, they will help you clear away the heaviness so that your heart can soar with happiness. Okay? It's work. It means having to go into those sensitive, awkward places where nobody likes to go. But again, very much to do with the Virgo energy right now. We're still in that Virgo energy, cleansing, clarifying, refining, purifying, doing all the cleanup, all the endless cleanup stuff to reveal the good stuff. What's that expression? There's no point in piling more and more good stuff on top of a dirty plate. Things just get more and more ugly. Love's Light, I hope that helps you. This is another awkward. I'm getting a lot of awkward readings today. I know it's just one card, and everyone's hoping to have something sweet and nice and tell me everything's going to be wonderful, but that's not what's happening today. We're just getting kind of very direct, blunt, in-your-face messages like this is what you need to know. Often what happens is if people are having a super whiz-bang time in their lives and everything's just wonderful, the last thing they'll ever do is end up at Tarot Lumination getting a reading. Some people are very happy and they want to share that. There are a few people actually who are on this channel like that. And they radiate a lot of love and light. And sometimes they wonder like, well, why isn't everybody else like that? I get it. Let's have a look. Okay, Jennifer, are you still here? Jennifer, I know it's been a long time, probably been a long time waiting. Can you give me an example of which deck you would like? I have 5 decks on offer here for you. Psychic growth. If you're struggling with psychic expansion, ESP, high sensory perception, more and more synchronicity, feeling like you're going insane because of all the visions and the sensations, remote viewing, astral projection, all of those things, and you want a bit of feedback, fine. If you're already way up in the clouds and getting dizzy, you want to come down to earth, try the Gaia. We have, of course, love and relations here, okay? Okay, and we have the power of surrender. We already talked about that. It's about the self with the self, being willing to let go of certain egoic desires, okay? And nature's whispers, if you want a message from nature, because we still have a lot of earth energy right now in the planets. The moon is in Taurus right now. I'm watching the screen. Jennifer, you're still here. Jennifer with an A, Jennifer. Thank you. Hello, Pam Pam. How are you recovering from the jet lag? So, Jennifer, we can handle any topic, legal, financial, health, love, home, family, children, pets, invisible friends from the other side. Oh, Joe is here. Joe just married, just showed up. Oh gosh. Oh, God. Okay, I have to put Joe back in the list. Okay. I almost threw your card away, Joe. In fact, I put it aside. Nature. Nature's whispers. Thank you, Jennifer. So you're going to get a little message from nature here. Beautiful. We have a bunch of Virgo planets, Capricorn planets, and the Taurus moon, and Uranus and Taurus. Big, big, fat, solid, juicy, grounding earth energy. It's like a big, fat, loose, grand earth trine. So that's good for the whole planet. It's good for everybody. The question is, are you grateful? Are you aware? Are you just taking it for granted, unaware about how amazing this is? A lot of people like I do on the channel, I focus a lot on the challenging stuff because it's like a weather report. Once we know what that is, we have a better chance of having a happier life. And so I don't often report much on all the amazing, wonderful thing that's happening in the planets, but right now we do have that big, fat, grand Earth trine, so let's take advantage of it. Thank you, Jennifer. You'll see in a minute. Okay, hold on, Jennifer. You'll see in just a moment. I'm going to split it up like we do. Sorry, things got really wobbly there. I just banged the camera stands. Let's have a look. Here we go. Oh, look, you got a unicorn. Ha! Jennifer, look. Oh my gosh. Jennifer, were you one of those little girls who liked unicorns? Can you see the picture here? I'm trying to give you the best light possible. Okay? The artwork is just outstanding here. There's this amazing, super beautiful, benevolent unicorn here with this child who's obviously in the highest frequency energies of child, like the magic of childhood. Some children never ever had a chance to have this experience of feeling the magic of childhood. Some children were deprived of this, and there's probably millions, if not billions, who live in deprivation. But one of the wonders of childhood is a lot of times they don't know how bad it is, and they find ways to smile and be grateful anyway. You've probably seen those little news clips or something where, there's like some refugee camp somewhere. There's death and destruction and demolition and disaster and pain and sorrow and disease everywhere. And then in the corner, there's a bunch of little boys and little girls playing silly games, laughing and giggling, teasing each other, fighting, wrestling, uh, doing whatever they do, but it's all done in the childhood innocence. The energy is gratitude and appreciation. Let me see what it says here. Give me a second. All right. Recognize the good qualities in others and openly share your gratitude with them. Write notes of thanks to those who have helped you. If someone deserves acknowledgement, take the time to let a superior or colleague know so that they receive the recognition they deserve. Nature is continually sharing its beauty for us to appreciate. Beholding a rainbow is a gift, and when we encounter a rainbow's beauty, it is the perfect time to be grateful for all the gifts in our lives. It is important to generate the positive flow of thankfulness that can bring joy into someone else's life. By doing so, you will not only decrease the stress, you will also generate the feeling of goodwill and love in your life. I know this energy very well, Jennifer. It's mind-boggling, the power of words, healing power of words, gratitude and appreciation, especially with someone, let's say, where you already share a little bit of a loving connection, but there's energies of frailty and fragility and weakness that needs bolstering. It's almost like the energy that I don't know if you've ever done like a pet rescue or anything like that, Jennifer. When you have that amazing click with someone, and then you always make the decision to choose the positive. For example, let's say you did a pet rescue. You can almost do the same thing with human beings. I'm not saying to go out and just rescue people every day, but when you have that connection with someone and you deliberately focus on the things that are good about them, like, oh my God, I love what you just did, or like that freaky weird soup that you made the other day, it was pretty strange, but I have to tell you, I still enjoyed it. You can find a way. It's amazing what happens when you kind of give genuine appreciation for someone's genuine, let's say, gifts or talents or efforts or intentions to be loving. Love breeds love. It's mind-boggling what happens when you actually tune into the attitude of gratitude and appreciation and you make it part of a daily practice. It's literally like you can start creating magic in your life, just like this little girl with her unicorn. It's almost like magic actually starts to happen. It's mind-boggling. I know this is just a little one-card oracle, but I'm feeling it very strongly, okay? I do it with emails, letters, conversation, my friends, my family. Uh, and what I do is I still have contentions with certain people in life, but I try to give myself a lot of patience and time and room to handle that in such a way that it doesn't get toxic and I don't become sucked in. I don't take the bait. I don't get drawn into any kind of drama and lose my frequencies and drop my frequencies. I stay on the good stuff. It's deliberately choosing to stay in a frequency of gratitude and appreciation. I am absolutely certain you understand, Jennifer, and maybe you just needed a reminder because my guess is that you're probably already that way anyway. You just needed a reminder now and again. Okay? Thank you, Jennifer. Starzy. Starzy, where are you? Let's have a look. I'm going to put you right there. Seriously, Jennifer, that was a very powerful message. Very simple, but very powerful. And I think it was really meant for you to hear that, because it's so easy to slip out of the attitude of gratitude, the attitude of appreciation. It's so easy, especially when things are sort of going okay, and then one little glitch goes wrong. It's so easy to turn negative, turn into the bad stuff, like, oh my God, my pizza delivery was 3 minutes late. Oh my God, they put too much caramel in my macchiato. Oh no! I left my tomatoes at the grocery store and I don't have my receipt. You could just turn something very, very. Anyway, all I'm suggesting is get back to the attitude of gratitude. I know you've already got it inside you big time. You might have been one of those lucky little girls who did have a portion of your childhood where it was magic. So don't forget that. It's real, it's true, and we can still keep that aura as adults as well, okay? All right, Starzy, what's the deck? What's the deck, Starzy? Oh, then I've got Joe. I'm sorry, I've got to do Joe's last one's over here. Okay, let's have a look. Deck 1. Okay, the psychic one. Okay, we're going to do that. That's what we're going to do. It's about, as Starzy is looking for messages about psychic growth, expansion, getting used to becoming more and more high frequency. Oh, look at that. Hey. This actually goes for everybody who's still at the show, if there's still people here. My wonderful host has offered something to share with you guys. This is for everybody, but it's resonating from Jennifer's reading. I'll just put that over here. Hold on. So Jennifer, here, have a look. See this thing? Now, this is a very fancy book, but you could actually create one for yourself. Okay?
You can't see it.
We can't see it?
You can't see the book.
It'll show up in a minute.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, because there's a delay. Remember, my show has about a 30-40 second delay. That's normal for YouTube. Actually, I have to tell you, I'm just looking at this right now, Jennifer, and the way it's written, because it's so clear, it's so pure, it takes a lot of the work out of having to create your own attitude of gratitude journal. I'm not saying go out and buy this right now because no one's paying me to market this thing, but if you look at it, it says here day and date. Today, I am grateful for and it gives you like a little token here. It says, appreciation is a wonderful thing. It makes what is excellent in others belong to us as well. So every page has this thing here. Oh, this is beautiful. Actually, I normally create my own journals and workbooks, but this is actually something that I would consider buying myself. I'm not going to do it, but it's something that, oh, this is beautiful. So there we go. This is a tool that can actually bring us into the attitude of gratitude, and it starts to feed on itself. It's an amazing thing, the attitude of gratitude. It's a mind-boggling tool for generating and creating happiness out of nothing. All right, Starzy. So we're reading from the psychic deck for you. Hey, Primary. Yeah. It's almost 3 o'clock. We've been going almost 3 hours. I've got 2 more readings. then I'm just going to unwind and hang out. We're reading for Starzy right now. We're using the psychic deck, and then we're going to read for Joe, just Mary, and she's got the relationship deck. Okay? All right, let's have a look. What messages do we have for Starzy regarding psychic expansion, psychic growth, dealing with more and more things to do with extrasensory perception, high sensory perception, clairvoyance, clairaudience, clairsentience? What does it all mean? Where does it all come from? Why am I getting all these signals, these feelings, these thoughts, these impressions? Where's it all coming from? Am I going insane? Are my angels talking to me? Are those really angels that I see on my peripheral vision? All of that kind of stuff. Also, how do I stay in the good vibes once I'm actually there? Here we go. Let's have a look. What's the message coming for Starzy? It's a Starzy. Meditate. Oh, this is one of the things that a lot of people don't like to do. I'm just going to read it first, okay? Can you see the imagery there? This almost looks like Tarot Lumination doing that shaky thing that we do on First Friday group healing event. Because I have my own like meditative and self-healing practices, Starzy. And sometimes they're quite vigorous. And I do it like in waves. I get quite vigorous, and then I go very, very trancy. And I kind of go in waves, up and down, up and down. Sometimes I just do it for 10 minutes in the morning. Sometimes I go for an hour and a quarter. But that's as far as I go. Typically 5 or 6 days a week. Let's have a look. Number 22, it says here. All right. A lot of people don't like to meditate because it means like you're kind of going internal, going into like a place that is very unfamiliar. Okay, here, this is funny. It says, you've been meaning to meditate, and maybe you're managing to sometimes. However, if you really want to live a fully grounded and fully guided six-sensory life in the flow of synchronicity and good vibes, you must meditate every day. I know it takes time and commitment, but the gain is worth the effort. It stabilizes your sixth sense and trains your mind to quiet down so that you can hear your vibes more accurately. View meditation as a gift, not as an assignment or an unpleasant duty. You don't have to meditate for a long time to be successful. 10 to 20 minutes is adequate. What is far more important is to meditate at the same time every day. The more consistent and predictable it is, the easier it becomes. Your subconscious mind starts to anticipate that time as a moment to relax and listen to your higher self, and in so doing, it cooperates. If you're consistent, you'll receive the guidance you seek as you meditate. It's simple. Start with breathing slowly into the count of 4, and then out to the count of 4, and relax. Think only of your breath and being. Start with 5 minutes and work up to 15. If your mind wanders, don't worry. Simply go back to your breathing. Be patient and stay with it. Look forward to it. Enjoy your meditation time. It is an appointment with peace. Okay, I'll share something with you, Starzy. I have my own little practice that I do, and I honestly don't do it for very long, because what I do is I mix it in with my physical practice, and I use a breathing technique, which is a kind of combination. Hold on, let me go visit with you. Stay there. So I have like several layers of breathing techniques, and some of the stuff that I do, I actually do it lying down, because I've been in periods in my life where I was bedridden with different conditions, and I had to find ways to like recover my heart soul energy while being like hospitalized and so on. And so the breathing exercises are really, really helpful. And really, it is that simple. You can start that way. Typically, what I would do is like I use, is it about 8 seconds? And I spread it out into chunks. I would go like, so that's 8 seconds of inhale, a very long inhale. 8 seconds, like a quick count for 8 or 5 or 7 or whatever. And then hold it for 8, like in for 8, hold for 8, release for 8. Take a moment, then repeat. 8, 8, and 8. Okay, and it works really, really well. I mess with it quite a lot. Sometimes I do very, very rapid, very intense, very rapid. Sometimes I do them shorter and I'm just feeling a bit lazy and I just do 5 seconds in. 5 in, 5 hold, 5 release. It's a very, very powerful tool for grounding and centering and coming into a state of like divine bliss. And then I do a physical practice, and then sometimes I go back to the breathing again and I mix it all up. Well, I don't actually do it every day. I usually give myself 1 day a week where I don't do any self-healing stuff, maybe just a tiny bit, and I focus on rest, just lots and lots of rest. Sleep, rest, nap, sleep, rest, nap, maybe eat, go for a walk, hang out with some friends, do something very super mellow. But yeah, it's an everyday practice. It's something that has to be just like kind of brushing your teeth or, you know, literally like brushing your teeth, something you do every day. Okay? Yeah. That was that, Starzy. I hope that helps you. It was a pretty simple, direct message. Meditate. Okay? All right, Jennifer, you're up. I just got to put this deck away. I just need to clear it. Joe? Joe? It's all on you now. There you go. Let's have a look. All right, Joe. Thank you for coming back. I thought we'd lost you earlier. I just had to have some more tea. Joe? I just had another one of those things where it's like you're here or something, or your energy just kind of popped into the room, and I'll tell you what I felt. I'll see if I can dramatize this. Because I worked in movies and TVs for a long time. I'm going to try and dramatize it. To me, it almost felt like you're like, I'm going to pretend I'm you. Okay, I'm just going to act out what I just felt. Okay, maybe this is not resonating with you or anything, but I'll just tell you what I felt. Pretend I'm Joe just married now. Right now. TL, thank you so much. It's like I don't want to be a bother. I don't want to be a pain, but like, please just tell me anything. Tell me whatever it is I need to know. I don't want to say I'm desperate or anything, but please, I'm kind of like, I'm wigging out. Anything would help right now. Thank you very much. Does that make any sense to you? Because that's what I felt here. Just all of a sudden, it was like you were there, like bam, suddenly right there. I just thought I'd share that. All right? That's sort of what happens in psychic readings and mediumship. You actually pick up somebody's energy. I know when people do mediumship, we're often dealing with the energy of people who are beyond the veil. They've crossed over, loved ones, parents, children, pets, relatives who've passed over, and all that kind of stuff. But the same frequencies happen with the living, believe it or not. Okay? All right. Joe, let's just trust the process here. Let's just see what comes out, all right? That's kind of what I was, that's my interpretation is, you said here, no, I don't have a question, like, right. So it's literally, what do I need to know? Just like, tell me whatever might be helpful. That's what we're going to do. Let's see what comes up for Joe. It's kind of a real treat for me, Joe, when people don't put any pressure on the reading. They just ask for the message. Let's have a look. It says here chemistry. Okay, now we've had this before. So remember, understand there's a duality with this energy here. Chemistry. So we're indicating chemistry, but it can also indicate lack of chemistry. My feeling here, before we even go into this, I'm going to read it again, but this is for you. My feeling here is that it's really important to understand that chemistry is important. If you look at this energy here, there's two people who are contemplating the energy field that they share together, okay? This is what happens in relationship. You know, I do that in my tarot readings when I do the love and relationship spreads and stuff. Have you ever seen those, Joe? I'm not going to do it here right now, but I want to do a demonstration. It's on the idea like there's Joe, there's the other party, and there's this third entity called the relationship itself, okay? That would be this energy here. Joe, other party, and then the third thing. In astrology, this is a very specific thing. It tells a tremendous amount about you and the other and the relationship itself. This is the significator of the relationship. So this little card here is what I am like associating with this little tiny sphere of ball of light here. It's very, very important to understand the thing itself, the relationship itself, because it is like an alchemical thing that happens between the self and the other. And a lot of people don't operate that way. They just operate from the point of one-on-one, and they don't ever consider that the relationship is a living thing in its own right. So let me just read for you first, and then we'll go back to that if we have to. Okay, it says here, all right. So let's not, whether you're in a relationship or not, whether you've been married for 30 years or you're a teenager, or whether you're in your prime, or whether you've had some awful recent experiences, or whether there's sweetness and innocence, doesn't matter. The theme of chemistry is really important. And sometimes chemistry isn't necessarily a good thing. You can have a very strong alchemical and chemistry type of relationship with someone, but it could also be very toxic, okay? So you have to be very careful. What is the nature of the chemistry? Sometimes people, for example, sometimes people have very passionate, almost like volatile, hyper-satisfying love lives, but it's also very chaotic and stuff. Like the chemistry is very strong, but it's perhaps maybe not exactly a healthy one. Okay, let's see here. You receive this card because you feel a strong dynamic pull towards another person. In other words, you share chemistry with him or her. This creates intense, pleasurable sensations that draw you to each other. If this person is someone other than your partner in a committed relationship, then the chemistry is probably a source of both stress and escape. You'll need to weigh your options and consequences carefully before or instead of leaving your current partner or embarking on a new affair or relationship. If, however, you are single and feel this pull towards another unattached person, then this card brings you a go-ahead green light of good news. Most likely the chemistry is mutual and it merits exploration. Okay? we're talking about learning and understanding and discovering the energy of that third entity. There's you, there's a significant other, and then there's the third entity, the relationship itself. It's incredibly important to know what that is. Define it, learn it, understand it. Like, what does it mean? Not a lot of people want to do that. It's too much work. Now, the flip side, of course, it says here, in some cases, this card may mean that a lack of chemistry is a cause for relationship issues and personal discontent. If there was chemistry initially, it may be restored by devoting effort to the relationship. Passion, sparks, and romance can be revived through playfulness, thoughtfulness, time together, and caring gestures. Call upon the romance angels to guide you as you make important decisions about channeling this chemistry, your chemistry. My feeling here with this is to really, really focus on the awareness, actually becoming aware of the nature of the relationship itself. Whether you're single right now or attached or whatever, it kind of doesn't matter. I think going forward, what I'm sensing here, the key thing, let me just clear this up. We're done here. Hold on. Thanks, Joe. So you didn't have a specific question. That's good. So that gives the cards a chance to really breathe and talk to their fullest capacity. So my feeling here is that this almost applies to everyone, but it's specific to you. Let's go over here. Hey, Joe. So my feeling with that one is that it's so, that like the default setting is that you relate with them, they relate with you, and that's it. Like, oh, we went to high school together, or we're dating because we're dating. It just sort of spontaneously happened, and everything goes on autopilot. But what I've learned over doing thousands of readings, it's from my perspective, it's very evident, because I do a lot of the astrology too, that there's you, there's a significant other, and there's this third entity itself called the relationship. And in the kind of astrology that I do, it's very clear, it's very definable, and it's a very good like map and an indicator of like the truth and the reality of what you would own with someone else. That it's something that you would own together, like a partnership, like a joint partnership. And so if you're conducting the relationship purely from here to here, and you're not aware of the nature of the relationship itself, then you're missing out a lot. Okay, so the message here with your reading is to consider spending more time or learning or understanding what is the nature of the relationship itself. Okay, what are the defining characteristics of the relationship? Is it marriage, boyfriend? Is it karmic? Is it a learning relationship? Is it for making babies? Is it mutual investment and mutual support while you advance your careers? Is it because you're being told to do so because it fits in with your community or your family or religion? Figure all that stuff out. Very, very important. Okay? That's it, people. Readings are over. Over. So I'm going to hang out as we all decompress and unwind. I'm going to have a look in the chat, see who's there. Yeah. Okay. So you're all doing your thing with yourselves. That's fantastic. Let's have a look. I just got to clear the stage. Okay, that's Joe. That's Joe over here. Thank you very much, Joe. So that's it. We're cleared. We're done. I'm going to wrap out here. Just give me a second. So we did it. Tarot Illumination is on the road on a little vacation. It's having a fantastic time. In case you didn't understand the message earlier, there is a action replay video on the Tarot Illumination channel of what we actually did last night. And it is the first ever Tarot Illumination campfire hosted by Love Triber. There, I said it. There we go. Hello, everybody who just showed up. The show is over. I can't take it anymore. I got meetings tomorrow and then the next day and the next day and the next day. Okay? Let's have a look. Thanks, Joe. Hope you got something out of that. Cheerio. Cheerio. So I'm going to play a little bit of music while you guys check out and check in with each other and all that stuff. Thank you, Path, for your support. We'll chat soon, okay? We'll connect soon. You know where I am. I'm going to play a song called Love is the Word, okay? It's like let's take advantage of this day, of this moment. To me, it's kind of like a power stomp song. I know it's like the middle of the day here, and to me, it's something that you would do around a campfire at night with very loud music and as many people around the campfire as possible with lots of room to make crazy noise and plenty of marshmallows for fuel. We have to use them for fuel. We'll do marshmallow readings again in the future, no doubt. Okay? See ya, Pam Pam. Okay? Here we go. So hang tight, people. Partner by the hand. For the skies, opening my hands to welcome in the day, gather in the sun's rays before I'm on my way, and the healing vibrations rattle through my soul, shaking out the poisons, making me whole, casting out diseases by chanting the word. The sounds of the universe by all will be heard. Resonate inside us, Nam is the word. Moving through the day, pray no accidents arise. Giving thanks to heaven that I am still alive. Blessing my enemies, blessing the ones I love. Praying for forgiveness for any damages I've done. And the healing vibrations rattle through my soul, shaking out the poisons, making me whole, casting out diseases by chanting the word. The sounds of the universe by all will be heard. Resonate inside us, Nam is the word. Now the day is done and moon is on the rise. My trials and tribulations all bottled up inside. I summon in the Nam as I reach up for the skies. I command all fear and shadows be gone before my eyes. And the healing vibrations rattle through my soul, shaking out the poisons, making me whole, casting out diseases by chanting the word. The sounds of the universe by all will be heard. Resonate inside us, Nam is the word. And the healing vibrations rattle through my soul, shaking out the poisons,